Hello everyone. Today's date is July the 3rd of 2022 and I'm here at a park and it's not really the nicest day. It's overcast. The sun's supposed to come out about 12 noon. It's about 8:30 in the morning. And I could have waited till tomorrow, the 4th, which is going to be a real nice sunny day. And it's also appropriate for the 4th because what I'm going to talk about today is in a way like independence. So a lot of you listening to this video are going to have a strange sense of deja vu. I think some of you are going to say, haven't I been through this song and dance before? Because what I'm going to talk about is going to sound familiar to any of you who've been watching me a long time. However, there are some changes, some differences, and why I'm going ahead and making this video. All right, I'm going to call this Mayo's Great Vinyl Purge of 2022. I've talked about similar things before, and I'm noticing as I'm making this video, you're trying to be low-key about it, but there are a lot of gnats flying around in my face right now, so we'll deal with the gnats. They can join in the video too. All right, anyhow, here's the thing, okay? I've been thinking about this for a while. Has to do with unburdening myself of a lot of excess records, a lot of excess vinyl. We all get there. Even if you're the most staunch collector of vinyl, there comes a time when you start thinking to yourself, I don't need everything I have here. Maybe I can get rid of a lot of it, clear up space, make money back, whatever it is. And that is where my head is at right now. And let's cut to the chase and tell you the main reason. Okay, I just turned 60. Okay, I can't believe it. I don't think I feel 60 at all. I don't think that I look close to 60. And yeah, that's a good thing. However, even the best case scenario, even if you're in the best of health, and we hope we stay that way, the question is, how many really good years do you have left? We all know that it can change anytime. I can be on my way home and not make it. Anything can happen, right? But I'm talking here, for all intents and purposes, of the best case scenario at this age. How many years do I have left? 20 years? 25? Maybe 30? I'd like to make it to 90 at least. But I know a lot of people that are 90 and over 90 that still are all together, and they're always an inspiration for longevity. However, there are some people that don't retain their faculties and things. So my point is, again, how many years do I have left? How many years do any of us have left, right? You got to start making real decisions. I mean, serious decisions. And that's what I've come to do here, okay? I'm making some serious decisions. What do I want to do hobby-wise, collectors-wise, music-wise, movie-wise with the rest of my life? In that subject, the categories of entertainment. And I can tell you that accumulating hundreds and thousands more pieces of plastic vinyl is not what I want. Okay. Now, so many things to talk about. Does this mean that I'm never going to buy vinyl again? No, it doesn't mean that. I can guarantee you that I'm going to be buying vinyl, but I can also, I hope to guarantee you it's going to be a lot less. I'm going to be very choosy, very picky. Now, let's go through a few items here that I've mapped out here on paper, okay? There were really three reasons why I'd say I'm doing this, okay? And I'm going to go from the least reason to the biggest reason, okay? Number three is I'm retired now, and I'm on a fixed income, so I just don't have money to just spend on just anything and everything, right, at my whim. However, I am a person like that by nature. I like to spend on a whim, So I may very well be regretting this video a year from now. Maybe 2 years from now. Who knows? But this reason of not having the funds is not the main reason. A lot of people are going to think, yeah, he's doing this because he just doesn't have the money. While that's a factor, it's not the key reason I'm doing this. It really isn't. I'll get to number one soon. All right, number two, going backwards, three, now number two, is I'm going to be moving, and don't know when. It could be 2 years, could be 3 years, but I'm going to be moving. And when I move, I don't want to be having to transport tons and tons of boxes of heavy records with me. Now, I think you say to yourself, or I say to myself, but then again, you think, what's the difference? Say I have 2,000 records, and I whittle it away, I get rid of half of that. You still got to move 1,000 records. Whether it's 2,000 records, 1,500 records, 1,800 records, it's still a lot of records to move, right? So anyway, but I'm still going to try to reduce it. Now, when I say about getting rid of records, again, I'm not talking about the Beatles. I'm still a Beatles guy, and I want to keep my Beatles records. And although I do think within the liquidation I'm going to do, I am going to also be getting rid of some extraneous Beatles stuff maybe like that I have certain albums that I don't need a double of. Maybe a lot of unofficial records, bootlegs. I will maybe some of them, the more primitive ones that I don't need to save some space. Maybe some of those will go. But overall, we're talking about, and I got to emphasize this, talking about unburdening myself of a lot of non-Beatles stuff. There's still going to be artists that I'm going to collect. I'm still going to keep my Tom Petty albums. I'm going to keep the Rolling Stones, Joan Jett, just certain things. I really don't know. There's certain albums I'm going to want to keep. But lately, I mean, I've been going around and I've been buying, and this is only in the last, if you look at my videos, the last month, weeks ago, a couple of months ago, I was buying a lot of extraneous stuff I don't need. I don't need Black Sabbath's first album. I don't need to have, for me, I'm talking about, for me personally, I don't need to have all the Kinks albums on vinyl. I don't need to get all of Elton John's albums on vinyl. Hits albums, hits compilations are fine with me. And CDs are fine. That's the important thing, too, that I hope. And this is already over 7 minutes long. Please, when I say I'm getting rid of other non-Beatles vinyl, that doesn't mean I'm not going to want to listen to non-Beatles music. On the contrary, I do want to listen to non-Beatles music, and most of the time, that's what I play. A lot of people don't believe that, but I do. But that's where CDs come in. You know, I made a video almost 2 years ago saying, look out, I've gone CD crazy. And yeah, when I want to hear Heart, I'll play Heart CDs. When I want to hear Jerry Rafferty, City to City, I can have Jerry Rafferty on a compact disc for like a couple of dollars. I don't need to have a big vinyl 12-inch record of Jerry Rafferty, and on and on and on. You know, so I mean, I just spent ridiculous prices on some things. I know I spent like $100 on the Kinks vinyl album. I don't remember the exact, the Village Green, the Preservation Society album. I spent freaking $100 on that. And here, this takes me to number one, the number one reason. Because I am a Beatles collector. Yes, and I use the word collector. So, while I still want to have the music by other artists to listen to, I could have that on CD. But when it comes to actually collecting, passionately collecting items, I'm not going to be collecting other artists' physical media items. You know, I'm going to collect Beatles physical media, and this is a topic that I want to get into again. When I talk about being a Beatles collector, I'm not just talking about vinyl. What I'm also talking about is memorabilia, collectibles, lunchboxes, coloring books, talcum powder, pencil cases, wallets, you know, the Beatles' record player, the guitar. A lot of people watching this, it's not your bag. A lot of people say, oh, so you're going to give up collecting vinyl of Led Zeppelin so that you could buy a Beatles pencil case, talcum powder? Is that what you're telling me? Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. I'm telling you because I sit here at the age of 60 and I say to myself, you know, I had a lot of money that I could just throw around throughout my life here and there. I mean, I say a lot of money. I've never been rich, but I mean, when I was living at home and I had a lot of mad money, a lot of extra money to spend, all my fun money, it should have all been concentrated on Beatles memorabilia. That's where my head is at. This is a strict choice I'm making right now. This is a age 60, going forward, having only a certain amount of years left, at best 20 years, 25 years. I decided for the next 20, 25 years, God willing, whatever it is I have left, I want to build up my Beatles memorabilia collection. I want to build up my Beatles museum. That's what I want. And I think what I like about this is, and this is the number one reason I'm doing this, I wasted a lot of money. We all have different definitions of what wasting money is, right? Your mileage is going to vary. But for me, as a Beatles collector, I wasted money buying other non-Beatles stuff when I could have been buying all the Beatles artifacts. I wanted, at this stage in my life, I figure for how much time I have left, I want to have stuff that I can display, that I can have around me, that I can have in my rooms. And when I get a bigger place, eventually I'm going to move to a bigger place in a couple of years. And when we have a bigger place and more space, I want to be able to admire everything. I can get up every day and I can see everything. Enjoy everything, display everything, or most things. You can't display everything, but most things. What's the point, to have a lot of records, the story, you buy the records, maybe you listen to it once, maybe you don't listen to it once, and you shove it away and you file it away and that's it, So you really have to start using your senses, and realize even under this shirt's falling down, look at this. Old shirt. Even under the best case scenario, folks, even if I live to be 90, how many more times am I going to pull out an album by Bobby Gentry, I don't know, and play a Bobby Gentry vinyl album? How many times am I going to do that? Although I'll probably save her album, Ode to Billy Joe. I like that album. But I'm just saying, I'm trying to think of what example. How many times am I going to pull out, I don't know, an album by Elton John from the 1970s? And I'm probably not going to do that, but I will play the greatest hits. I'll just grab the CD, put it in, and have volume 1, 2, and 3 on CD, and I'm satisfied. This is just me personally. So now I'm starting to talk into circles. This is what I'm thinking, How am I going to sell this stuff? The stuff that I want to get rid of. How am I going to get the best money back that I can get for all this stuff? I should have wore a different shirt. This one has seen better days. The collar's like hanging down. All right. Now, if you sell back to an old used record store, you're not going to get nearly what you paid for it. And I understand that. But I have some friends out there, and my friends are interested, some of my friends, in certain titles. So if I sell some of these records back to my friends, I'll be able to get more money than I would if I sell them to a store. Now, a lot of people are going to tell me all kinds of suggestions. Why don't you go on eBay? I used to be an eBay seller. I was an eBay seller in the year 2000, I think. I went to the early 2000s, 2000, 2001, 2, 3. eBay's not what it used to be. I don't want to get involved with eBay. I don't want to get involved with all the transactions, the money. A lot of people are saying, why don't you sell right here openly to people here on your show? I don't really know. I don't know if I want to get involved with the finances and all of that and the money. And like I said, again, addresses, exchanging addresses. I really don't know. So selling to friends, I can get some money back selling to friends. And then I might even go to a record show and set up a table at something at some point. Get a table, although I think that's not something I'm definite about, but I'm thinking about it. And in the end, whatever is remaining, I will go to sell it back to some of the used stores and take a hit. Do I regret buying any of this? Not in the sense that I've had a good time. I like the thrill of the hunt. I like to find things. I like to come here and show you things. I've played some of the records, contrary to popular opinion. I've played some of these records. A lot of them I haven't played, and it's just a waste of space for me. Although that space that I'm wasted, I'm going to fill up with more wasted stuff. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm going to be buying other stuff. I'll be buying memorabilia instead of records. But there's just no point for me in getting records anymore. I mean, as many records as I get. I think if you're on this channel and you stay here, you'll still find vinyl finds of all kinds and CD finds of all kinds, but there won't be as many. I'm sure of that. That's my goal. All right. And yeah, I think I've really covered everything. So if I can just summarize it, yeah, you know, it's time to make a real strict decision. And it's going to be hard because there's times when you collectors know what it's like. You're in a store, you hold a record, and you say, "My God, this is beautiful. It's great condition, great cover. I love it. I want it just for the cover." There may be a few records here and there I'll keep. I know there's going to be nostalgia records that I'm not going to listen to, but they make me feel good about my childhood or something, so I'll keep them. They remind me of a time in my life, so I'll stick with them. That's probably going to happen. But yeah, to summarize, I'm 60 years old now. I can see that there's more years behind me than there are in front of me, and you got to decide what you want to do. To me, your mileage will vary, but for me, it doesn't make any sense to go out there and buy records. I'm just trying to think. I don't know, the Clash, the Pretenders. And people, not even to mention people I haven't heard yet. People are always like, "You got to discover new music." Are you kidding? I've got so much music that I already have, that I already like, that I already know. Why that I'm not playing or listening to actively? Why would I accrue hundreds more and have only 20 years left? I have only 20 or 30 years left to listen to all the stuff I have. Why would I buy more stuff, new stuff that it doesn't make any sense to me? Or some of you out there have the opposite feeling. Some of you out there feel life is short. I've only got X amount of years. I want to hear as much new music as I can. Good. Go for it. Follow your dream. My dream is to enjoy what I have and to spend what limited money I have now in retirement only on things that I really know that I'm going to get joy out of and really want. And a lot of that will be, display stuff that I can look at and admire on the walls, on the shelves, and the bookcases. That's kind of what I want now. And that goes for movies and music, both. So yeah, it's a real serious decision I'm making. And I'm really curious to know your reactions. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Well, whether you agree or not, it doesn't matter. It's my decision. But I am curious to hear, what are you doing in your life? What do you think is a good idea for yourself? Which way do you want to go with this? Yeah. And what really gets me before I sign off here is the one regret that I have is that I said this earlier, but I'm going to send it home now again. I just regret that I didn't spend more of my money, my mad money, my extra money, buying more Beatles collectibles and things like that. I mean, I had my whole life I've been into the Beatles, and there were years ago, decades ago, where I should have bought, the Beatles, Remco dolls in the original boxes, and that's another example. Say I have, this is just my feeling. Say I have, I don't know, $500. I'm just making up a price. I think they cost more than this, but say I have $500 to spend. Does it make sense for me to buy a Black Sabbath album for $75, a Rolling Stones album for $100 original, an album by Kiss? I bought some Kiss albums, right? Because they're cool. They're cool, those albums. A Kiss album for $100, and on. When for that same $500, I could buy a Beatles lunchbox in nice shape. You know what I mean? Some kind of Beatles. To me, Joe Mayo, Mr. Mayo, it makes more sense to take that $500 and that I've spent on all these different records of other artists, and I should have put them towards Beatle collectibles. That's what I'm going to do, folks. Wow, 20 minutes more or less here I did. I thank you all for listening to me. Have a great 4th of July, those of you who celebrate the 4th. I really am serious about this video. And as I say, there's still going to be vinyl on here. Beatles vinyl for sure. Beatles vinyl is not really affected here. Elvis, I still collect Elvis. I told you some other names that I collect. It'll be up to my discretion. Thanks, everybody. Talk soon.